I'd like to thank the grace of heaven, be seated. Grace of heaven, the virtues of the masters, and mercy of the transmitters, temple masters, lecturers, for giving me this opportunity to lead the discussion on, the explanation of the today's topic, which is the second admonitory sermon of God. Okay, which is the title, the heading, the topic is the heading is the last salvation to save the three worlds. Okay, the three worlds. So I'll explain what that is. Okay, the three realms really. Just as a background, I already did the first sermon, right? The first admonitory sermon back, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah. Don't forget, this sermon, these 10 sermons, were written down via handwriting by God in 1941. So that's like 76 years ago, right? August 7th. Okay, all right, 76. It was on the 15th, the lunar calendar, the 15th, August, right? August lunar calendar. Yeah. Okay, so I think so. No. Yeah, August 7th was the Julian calendar, but it was a full moon. It was the 15th. Okay, it was the June 15th. Okay, of the lunar calendar. All right, but it's in 1941. So 6 years ago, over 76 years ago. Okay, all right. So I'm not going to review the first one. I mean, you should, all of us should read this, because these it basically what's an admonition. People say admonition. Yeah, generally dictionary meaning, it's a warning. It means warning. Admonish, right? To warn. It also means just to remind us. To remind us. So God in 1941 gave these 10, you can say, warnings, or really reminders, if you will, reminders in 1941 via handwriting to wake us up, to remind us that we are all originally came from we're with God, we're at one with God, and that that we've been here for at least 60,000 plus years, and that we became lost during that period. Okay, and so because now is the time of, you can say, harvest, the last, the harvest, or the end of the season, or the cycle, towards the end of the cycle, this 29,000 year cycle. God wants to remind us that we originally came from God, or we're with God, and we came down to this world, to this earthly realm, and now it's time to go back. But we have to find a way, and we have to know the way to go back. Okay, so in other words, this earth is not our true home. This physical realm is not our true realm. Okay, our true home. Okay, all right. So in the previous chapter, our first sermon, talked about 3 weeks ago. God explained, how come we ended up in this world. Okay. It's pretty much like a creation story. Okay, but that's okay. All right. Now God is explaining why we need to, what we call, quote unquote, receive the Tao. Specifically, the three treasures. Know the three treasures. Okay. So in this very first, page 63, 64, God explained that, now the Tao, during this period, during this last period, okay, after roughly 60,000 years, it's under 60,000, but close, okay, that God sent three, Buddhas, or that he was going to spread the Tao. But how would he spread the Tao? He's appointed assigned, if you will, three Buddhas, with the mandate, heaven's mandate, to help propagate, spread the teaching of the Tao. Okay, so who are the three Buddhas, right? Who are the three Buddhas? Anybody know who are the three Buddhas? I'm sorry, the three Buddhas. So now, you know, when we receive the three treasures, right? We explain to you, you know, the white period, right? The white period, the white era, because that's the era of what we call the universal salvation of the three realms, right? And there are three Buddhas in charge of that, of that mission, if you will, that mission, right? First one is 17th patriarch, right? You know, you can see the picture in the small temple, right? And then we have the 18th patriarch and matriarch, right? Which is what we call, you know, holy teacher. Well, 17th patriarch is Maitreya, right? And then holy teacher is the 18th patriarch, right? Ji Gong, right? And the 18th matriarch is our Yue Hui Pusa, or you can say Bodhisattva of lunar wisdom, right? So you can see the statue, you know, the picture of them, okay, in the small temple. Okay. Now, what are the three realms, right? We know what the three realms are, right? That's the temporal, you can say the celestial realm, celestial. That's where all the devas, you can say, you know, all these, you know, ancient legends or cultural legends of these gods and, you know, angels, whatever, you know, gods, all that, okay, you know. That's what's celestial. They're, you know, in Buddhism, they call it, they have 33 levels, okay? But we don't need to go into that. There are too many levels, okay? There are many levels, okay? And then there's the earthly realm, which is the physical realm. And then there's the realm of the underworld, okay? So those are the three realms. So that's the salvation of the three realms. That's this what we call the white era, right? From the 17th patriarch and 18th patriarch. Their mission, their mandate is to, you can say, save or deliver the souls that exist in these three realms, celestial, earthly, and underworld, to where? To give us, basically you say, to give the three treasures to them so that they can go back to where we originally came from, okay? All right, which is absolute heaven. Okay, so that's basically what the first two what do you call it, sections, okay, of the sermon, okay? All right? And then first three, basically three, yeah. So Maitreya, or the 17th patriarch, is in charge of what we call the heavenly post. Heavenly post means he deals with the three realms, right? The celestial, earthly, and underworld. And then holy teacher and matriarch, the 18th patriarch and matriarch, they deal, well, 18th patriarch specifically, with the mandate to deal with the earthly realm. I mean, which is the human realm. Okay, human realm. All right. So that's what we call the heavenly the post of the Tao transmission or Tao propagation. Okay, so Tao Pan, that's called Tao Pan. Whereas Maitreya, the 17th patriarch, is in charge of the post of the three realms, or you can say heavenly realm, the heavenly realm. Okay, heavenly realms. Okay, Tianpan. Okay, all right, the heavenly post. Okay, so now that's basically the first three sections. Okay, first three sections, page 66, 67. All right, so now we're on to 67. Okay, so yeah, 67, 68. So basically, what God was saying is that during this period, during this, you know, universal salvation of the three realms, or this transition of the red to the white, to the white era, those of us who can receive the Tao, we call quote unquote receive the Tao, must have this affinity. Okay, affinity in order to receive it. So it's not random. In other words, it's random. And this affinity is due to the cultivation or the good deeds that we've done in at least 3 previous lifetimes. Okay, all right. So it's something. It's rare. So it's pretty rare. Okay, it's not. Later on we talk about the numbers, but we'll talk. Okay, so that's basically through 67. All right. Now we go to the 68, 69. 68, 69. 68, 69, 70. That's Holy Teacher is talking about basically the three treasures. Okay, talk about the three treasures. All right. So he's But God is basically saying that the three treasures will allow, both humans, deities, and the souls in the underworld to transcend future reincarnation and go back to the absolute realm. All right. So it's only during this period, during this what I call the period of the 17th, 18th patriarch, matriarch, we say the beginning of the white era, will the three treasures be made known to us. Previously, if you were born 100 years ago, roughly 100 years ago, 1917, for example, right? Or prior, 1917 or earlier, which I think most people are not alive, right? 100-year-old person is probably very rare, right? Very, very statistically very rare. Those people born 100 years ago would not have the opportunity to receive the three treasures. Very unlikely, because it's before the 17th patriarch's time. Yeah? I think he received the mandate 1926. I forgot. 1916, 1920. Yeah, 1920. But anyway, if we're born 100 years in the future, so 2117, we'll probably not be able to receive the three treasures either. Okay, so we got to be careful. So that's what I'm saying. This window of opportunity to receive the three treasures. In other words, this period, the universal salvation of the three realms, it's only within this 100-year period, since 1930, roughly 1930, 1925, 1920, 1930, around that time frame, 100 years. So you can calculate, right? Do the math. So by 2020, 2030, maybe you stretch at 2040, maybe 2050, you stretch. I can't predict. We don't know. But the point is, there's going to be a time where we're not going to have the three treasures become available. Okay, so that's why it's very important, because these three treasures, and which God will later say, allow us to go back. Okay, without the three treasures, I don't care how well we cultivate. How well we cultivate. At best, you become a celestial diva. At best, right? We become, and we'll still reincarnate. We'll still reincarnate. Okay, so the three treasure basically, he's saying, right, bottom of page 68, that we will have that door unlocked. That's the first treasure, right? The seamless, the 无缝锁, right? 无缝锁, the seamless. That means it's like a door. Like a door has a seam, right? You say the four seams, right, of a door. Well, this door has no seam because it's invisible. That's why it's invisible. But that invisible door is going to be unlocked. That's the first treasure. That's the first treasure. I mean, even though God did not say that's correct, but that's what it is. Okay, that's what it is. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's and it's unlocked by our holy teacher, because that's God's mandate, right? God appointed our holy teacher to do that. So in that ceremony that receive the Tao, when we receive the Tao, all we see is the transmitter, but actually it's spiritually. It's the holy teacher that's unlocking it, okay, during that ceremony for the first treasure, right? Okay, all right, okay. So once we have that door unlocked, that's the most important. That will allow our you can say our Buddha nature, our soul, our spirit to go back, all right? Okay, but otherwise we can't leave through that door, right? Because it was locked. So we have to go through what? Eyes, nose, ears, mouth, right? Apex and belly button, right? And then that's reincarnation, right? That's the 6 paths of reincarnation according to Buddha, right? Okay? So, all right, so that's, okay, now we can go to page 70. Now, 70, God was talking, well, it's bottom of 69, but 70. God was also talking about the 无字真经, right? 无字真经 and the 合同, 古合同03元正, right? Okay, in the first sermon, God explained how we came to being in this earthly realm 60,000+ years ago. Okay, whatever, some relatively a while ago, and God basically at this place in heaven called the San Po, literally. It means the slopes of the 3 mountains. I mean, that's literally what it means. And so it was there that we became separated from God. Okay, God made us drink the soup of forgetfulness and took away our abilities to come back from the earthly realm back to absolute heaven at our free will. In other words, we lost that ability. Okay, and so this is in the first sermon. Okay, so we can go back and go through it, to in more detail. But I don't want to, I don't have time for that. But it was at that place, at the 3 mountain slope, that God made a promise. God promised us that, okay, even though, he made us come to the world, to manage the world, okay, but he promised us that at some time in the future, when the time is right, God will show us the way, will give us the way, okay, to come back. That is the 3 treasures. And so he made that promise there, God. And the third treasure, the third treasure, 合同, is a, remember what we call the third treasure? The holy, what? Hand seal or covenant? Covenant. It really should be covenant. Because covenant is the promise. What's a covenant? It means agreement, right? Promise, understanding, whatever, okay? Between God and us. That God is going to show us that if you use the third treasure, it's proof, it's evidence that of God's promise to show us the way to go back. Okay? That's what the 3 treasures also mean. We say, that non-crying, uncrying child, right? That pure child, right? Well, that's the meaning. One of the meanings of the third treasure. I don't think I should say it now, but anyway, it doesn't matter. But those of you, we should know that, right? We should know that if we all receive the Tao, we know what the third treasure means. Okay, so that's proof. That's why it's called a hand sign too. It's mudra. It's mudra. All right, it's the holy covenant. All right, between us and God. Okay, and that's what God said right here in the page 70. Okay, all right. And then we all know that when we in the dragon form, our name is sent to heaven, registered in heaven, and removed from the book of the underworld. Okay, so that's why when it's time to leave this physical world, our soul, our spirit, will not be able to go down to the underworld if we want. Even if we go down, the Yama, right? Yama, who's the you can say Buddha of the underworld, Yan Lo Wang, Yama. He would look at the book and he'd say, your name is not here, so get lost. So go. You can't come in. You can't stay here. So that's how powerful this third 3 treasures are. Okay? All right. So our names are already reserved in heaven. You know that? Okay. All right. Okay. So that's how the importance of the 3 treasures. Okay. So now and how precious these 3 treasures are? Page 71, right? God mentioned, Confucius said, right, that that if we receive the Tao in the morning, let's say in the morning, okay, and then when we leave, when we pass away at night, he would have no regrets, or he have no worries. You can say no worries or concern, because once you receive the 3 treasures, you'll go up there. You don't have to go down there. Okay, all right. That's what he says right there. Okay, so that's how precious this Tao is, and this is what we call God called the 上上层一步超. Okay, that is this. You can say this the supreme Dharma, and supreme Dharma, the highest Dharma. That's the highest Dharma. So you don't have to meditate. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Yeah.
So if we receive the 3 treasures and our name's not in the underworld, but if we still do bad things, don't we still need to be punished?
Yes.
Or would they just tell us no?
Yes. No. You'll be punished. But you'll be punished in heaven, not in the underworld. They have what we call penitentiaries in heaven too. You know that. So if we don't cultivate well, if we still have 3 poisons, and all of that. Okay. So we still have to cultivate or you can say punish. And or our time or our stay up there will be very limited. We cannot stay up there long.
So if you kill someone or hurt somebody, I would think it could be worse than...
No, you still come down. You still will come down. will come
You
down.
will not go
You
up.
still go.
Yeah,
you will not
yeah,
go
you
there.
still
Oh, you
come
still go
down.
to the underworld.
Yeah, you still will go. Yeah.
Goes underworld.
So it depends what you did.
Yeah, if it's pretty severe, yeah.
Well, yeah, it depends. There's no
I mean, because
absolute.
basically, yeah. It's
If
not
you kill your
absolute.
parents, for example, okay, you'll probably go down. You know.
Not probably. You will.
No,
Yeah,
you will
go down.
Definitely,
Go down.
definitely.
Well, it depends on what merits. Yeah. See, we're assuming everything. It's we're just assuming that that's the only deed, right? So I mean, so
Whoever do that.
on balance, yeah,
Wouldn't be
it's
there.
that's why it's called the 5 great sins, 5 cardinal sins. You kill your parents, you kill your Buddha, right? Buddha. I forgot. There are 5. There are 5 of them, right? 5 cardinal sins, right? 忤逆罪.
There are 16. Underworld.
Yeah, there are
18.
16.
18.
Some people,
18.
well, yeah.
18, right?
Some people say
But
16.
From 19 to 23, that's for us.
Uh,
Maybe more because
Yeah,
we
yeah.
know a lot of.
Because you did wrong,
already,
right, yeah.
And we still do something
Yeah,
very bad.
yeah.
So that.
Yeah, 阴山, yeah, that's what they said. Yeah, 就有阴山.
那个19到23, that was before, but maybe right now it's even more.
No, but God did mention 阴山 in here, in this. Yeah.
That's another.
Yeah. So
even worse.
Yeah. So that's because if God said, even though you received the Tao, but you do not sincerely cultivate, then we could end up there. In 阴山. Yeah, that's even worse. So
Inside is even worse.
yeah, 阴山 is like you have
evil of
well, not just most evil, but our chance of coming back to reincarnate as a human becomes very, very slim, very small.
Anymore.
Yeah, or even an animal, right. Become very, very small chance. Get it? So in other words, we'll be suffering under there for a long, long time. It could be kalpas. Kalpa, 戒. Multiple 怎么讲? Multiple cycles. You know that? So scary. So scary. So that means we have to. I mean, granted, it's still it still has a finite time, but it's a long, 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 long time in human terms. Okay, all right. So I mean, it's never eternal, but but it's a long, long time. I mean, because God did mention 阴山 in here. Okay, He did. I think He mentioned it later on, but yeah, in page 78. Page 78. Okay, He talked about it. All right. Okay, anyone who's hypocritical in the Tao society, muddled through one's work, well, okay, in the middle of the paragraph, they were crushed and kept under the mountain of gloom and hell. So called 阴山 and never become. So so God is basically, reminding us and warning us to, once we enter the Tao, we receive the Tao, we have to cultivate. Also with sincerity, obviously, and make progress. Okay, we don't just muddle through. We don't just say, "Oh, I received the Tao. I don't do anything more. That's it." Then, I mean, it depends on what you do. Obviously, depends on what you do. I mean, if what we do, if we don't do any bad thing, okay, you probably won't go down there. But if we do bad things, then be careful, right? So also depends on what we do, obviously, but so that's why it's conditioned. It's conditional. Okay, all right. But God mentioned 阴山 on page 78. All right. So I didn't want to jump that far. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay. But I just want to tell you that. Okay. So that's page 71, 72. Okay. And so basically, God is saying that there's evidence. And so 72. Remember? So when we receive the Tao, we talk. People say people. Tell us, right, that, this is proof that the Tao is true, right? That the 3 treasures is true, that if we leave through that door, right, what happens? Our body remains soft. So God said that, okay? We didn't say it. God said it. Page 72, okay? Page 72. God said that, right? That, no matter how hot during the summer or how cold during the winter, our body will not stink or rot or smell or be stiff if we leave through the first treasure, okay,
and
the
do
door.
good things.
Yeah, and obviously you have to cultivate. You have to do. Yeah, we have to be sincere. We have to cultivate. That's the assumption. Okay, that's the assumption. All right.
And the face.
Yeah, and then the face will look lifelike, rosy, lifelike, not pale, not blue, okay, not blue like some corpse, right? Corpse, when they die, they're they're very pale, right? Like there's no body heat, no circulation. That's what I meant. No circulation. So the whole body will be supple. That means flexible, and also you'll be still like sleeping, basically like sleeping. It's just that, you're unaware. It's like that, and it's like lifelike. Okay, so that's what God said. Okay, God said that. So that's why we would tell you that during the when we explain the three treasures, right? So it's not I didn't make it up. We didn't make it up. Okay, it's God here said that. Okay, in the sand writing. So that's what God said. This is proof. This is evidence that the three treasure is real, or at least the first treasure. Okay, first treasure. All right. And that's the difference between people who receive the Tao, go through that treasure, that first gate, that first treasure, the door, versus ordinary people. Get it? Okay, so that's what it means. All right, so that's page 78. Okay.
Can I share something?
Yeah, sure. 72.
I was a registered nurse, and I worked in the Jewish hospital before 20 years ago. That time I was young. And then, I was scared about the cost. Okay, even I was a nurse, so I did not understand why I was so scared about
30 minutes. Okay.
the dead body. Yes.
Yeah, corpse.
If you imagine when you go to lunch, right? And the elevator open, that's a corpse.
Yeah, in a hospital. Yeah,
And
very.
then you have to go in.
Yeah, very common.
Next to the dead body.
Do they smell? No, they don't
No,
smell.
in the hospital, it maybe smell alcohol.
Yeah. Formaldehyde, preservative.
It just feels so dim and dark and it make you still. And while you're in the cafeteria, that's glass door, right? You can see the dead body just. All right, and when you stand at some late work to basement, the dead body is an investment. Okay, so I always get scared about the body. I don't know why. Okay, here I received out, and then there's one patient. When he died, he opened the blue eyes widely. And all the Filipino nurse just along the way and asked me to take care of this dead body, okay? Because he still have an IV hanging there. In all the curtain, the white curtain, surround him. And I got so scared. I look at his open eye. Then what's going on here? Okay? He opened widely. Then I took out the needle out. And later on, I know this guy, when he passed away, the social worker went to his house. He's a single, stay with his sister. And he has how much money, do you know that? 400K underneath his pillow.
Cool. He can't take it with him.
That's why he couldn't close his eyes. He would be worried about his money.
Even when he died.
Yeah. So here I sit down and I understand. Oh, this makes sense. When we say the spirit go out from the eye, right? From ear, from nose. Sometimes when we explain that, we just describe that. But I saw that in the hospital. People really open eyes wider. It's so much money. Yeah. And then when in the hospital, you just feel it's so dark. Okay, even you go to the cemetery. My son described when he passed the cemetery, right? When he go to school, that's a big part of open. The funeral place. It just feels so dark. Okay, even the daylight is there. If you feel, the chi is different.
Energy.
Yeah, but when my own father passed away, he has to wait for me for 3 weeks. Because the Chinese people, they always see for which day is good
to be buried. Yeah, feng shui.
Which day is not good, something like that. So he was in the mode, the ice cold, right, for 3 weeks. Okay, so when I went back, again, that's my own father. I still carry that habit. I'm so scared of the body. Then we go to do the translation. I'm so scared. I'm scared about it. He said, "No, your own father, you do it." So I went there and I hold his hand. Amazing. His hand just like go outside the winter time and come back home. It's not that kind of warm, but it's a little bit the temperature a little bit low, but not even chilly. It's just not warm. That's it. But from the ice cold place, I can bend his hand. That's amazing. When people receive stuff, it's totally different. It's the way to prove that they go together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we say this during the three treasure, right? We explain the three treasure that's proof. You can say proof, right? 印证, right? Yeah. So that's why we don't make it up. God said that, okay? Back in 1941.
Even my
Okay.
father-in-law, he had a
Stroke.
Let me say it a little bit. My father had a very severe stroke.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he had high blood pressure, but he said he was fine because 4 days he said he didn't need to take medicine at all. He said he's fine. It was real good. But after 4 days later, he had a severe stroke. Then you know what happened? Severe stroke. He was pretty bad. He cannot even talk. Then later on, we hired someone to do the rehab every day. But doesn't matter what rehab we do every day, his finger muscle, the hand start to shrink like this. Okay? And the leg is started. Right? So I tried to pull his finger out. He was pull his hand back. Okay? But when he passed away, all the fingers, hand, leg, everything become original shape. Normal person shape. Okay? So you can see the difference when people who receive that, who don't receive that, you can see the difference. So it's not just soft. You see, all these people have a problem with the physical shape, becomes very flexible. Okay? So it's the beauty of the receiving that blessing. Yeah?
And because this is how many years? 5 or 6 years?
4 years.
Yeah, and then his leg goes like this.
Yeah.
But it's amazing he can become normal. That's not possible. All the doctors cannot believe that. Okay, because the muscle, everything, nerve is shrinking. And we had a reunion, right?
Yeah.
Station, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and my father-in-law is in the South Gate, and he's a staff member. And my own father is in
Elevation court.
Convention Court. He's a staff member in the class.
In the class. In the class.
My parents, 3 of them. Yeah, my
So you can bring them back. You know where they are.
My own father is all in the training class. So we cultivate our parents, our ancestors, they all for sure.
According to the Buddhists, when they die,
Yeah.
how do you do the ceremony? Finish. As for example, the Hindu,
Yeah.
the fire.
Oh, you mean how they Buddhism uses fire, cremation, because it's a continuation of the Hindu tradition.
Yeah.
Buddhism.
Fire too?
Yeah,
You could do the queen.
Tibetan,
yeah.
they put you on top of the
yeah.
mountain and
Yeah.
the birds.
Yeah.
You can cremate or you can
Yeah.
bury
Yeah.
under the ground.
Yeah.
It's up to the
Yeah,
individual.
it's that's kind of
Doesn't really
gross.
matter, you don't need it anyway.
See, American Indians, they do above ground burial, and they let the body rot or
But
whatever.
in the Buddhist, also one thing very interesting. They put the body there. They did
Let it rot.
rot
Yeah.
for a while. Take a few months, just 2-3 months to rot, right?
Yeah.
And they then ask people to go to see.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Why? He said, just tell us their body.
Yeah.
The body we have.
实体灵,
It's not
实体灵.
reliable.
Yeah, 实体
You
灵.
think that it's pretty
Have you guys heard of that?
Right?
Lecture
And
didn't
then
talk
tell
about
us,
it.
there you
实体
go.
灵.
This is not
It's called the
we
cadaver
need to
force.
concentrate on our
Cadaver
knowledge of
force,
our
yeah.
original spirits.
Cadaver
Don't worry about
force.
physical body. This only lasts 120 years. That's it. Our original
Yeah.
spirits.
Well,
The
yeah.
Buddha nature is more important
Yeah,
than
yeah.
our physical bodies.
Yeah, in ancient India, there's and you can say Tibet similar, yeah, because they're pretty similar. They share some similar what we call tradition practices, which is when people die, sometimes it's they don't bury you, because I guess they don't bury you. They leave your body out to die. It's called cadaver forest. 死灵, 实体灵, whatever. Cadaver forest, there you go, cadaver forest. Okay, they leave the body die and let it rot, and basically they bring people, especially young people, because they think they're so vigorous and they don't die, whatever, and let them observe the rotting corpses. Smelling, rotting, and all that stuff. The worms eating away, whatever, birds eating away, animals eating. And that's to teach them that we should not be too attached to our physical bodies. Because one day we're going to have to give it back, return it to the elements.
Recycle.
Yeah, recycle. Yeah, you can say recycle. Yeah. It's all going to be bones and whatever, dust to dust, right? Dust to dust, right? Ashes to ashes. Yes.
We're basically just made out of the dirt anyway.
Yeah. The elements, right? The elements. If you look at the elements on the periodic chart, we contain potassium, I don't know, whatever, calcium, bones, right? Calcium, etc. Yeah, H2O, whatever. Okay, so we should not become too attached. Okay, let's go on. I wanna because. Okay, so page 75 now. 73, 74, right? Basically, this is important because what God was reminding us that, we have to understand that this Tao is true, is real, okay, it's true, and that the mandate is true. The heavenly degree mandate is true, and that this Tao is unique. It's special. You can say special, unique, because why? Only through the Tao, the three treasures, can we transcend these three realms. Okay, I mentioned the three realms, right? The celestial, earthly, and underworld. Okay, all right, and that it is our holy teacher, the 18th patriarch, now that had that mandate to pass on the three treasures to us. Okay, all right. That's basically what the first line from, and that we have this golden thread. That's why I'm so very important. The second section of the first line, page 73. Basically, God is telling us that there's this golden thread that from ever since the green period all the way to the white period. Okay, that there's a succession of the mandate, right, to the different patriarchs, etc. Okay, right. Then the second line, God is talking about 二九, right? 二九, that's the 18th patriarch. It's now the time of the 18th patriarch, and that now we can cultivate at home or anywhere, basically anywhere. We don't have to leave the family like in the red period or green period where we have to become a monk, blah blah blah, right? It says 在家中如出家，火灾圣人, right? 成人, right? 成人, 圣人. 火灾圣人 means literally it means a burning house, fire. But what it means that we could be, literally it means married monks. It just means, and this is a reference from the Lotus Sutra, by the way. 妙法莲华经 chapter 3 talks about that, okay? So that's a reference to chapter 3 of the Lotus Sutra. Basically, there's a story about burning house, okay? But I know. Yeah, 火灾 means you could cultivate at home. You don't have to be a monk, in other words. So that's the white era. That's the period of the white era. Understand? We don't have to be monk. We don't have to be monastery. We don't have to go to a monastery, in other words, to receive the Tao and to practice the Tao. Okay? That's important. All right? Okay. And also, God basically talked about that. Let's see. From this period on, from this white period, God, there will be how can I say? Not miracles, but scriptures given to us via handwriting or visitation. Because previously, during Buddha's time, there's no such thing, right? But only because in the white period, because God wants to, you can say, give evidence, show us that, oh, this Tao is true, and that hurry up, we have to receive the three treasures to go back, okay? And we should cultivate, all right? So basically that's what it means, okay? And then there's the thing about that the three realms, okay? There's a difference between what we call there's San Cao and San Jie, okay? The San Cao, I talk about the three we call three world, you know, the celestial, the earthly, and the underworld. But the San Jie, okay, is basically dealing with the earthly and the celestial, okay? Because there's the Yu Jie, right? Yu Jie, the world of desire, or the realm of desire, of which earth realm is the lowest level. And then underworld, sorry, underworld is part of that, right? That's true. The underworld, the earthly realm, and then there's another, I don't know, there's six levels, I forgot. And then there's the Se Jie, world of forms. That's another level. There's like 16 or 18, I forgot, something levels, okay? So they have forms, but they don't have physical form. They have some form, like, you know, spiritual form, you know, I mean, I don't know, whatever, you know, like a cloud or whatever.
More ephemeral.
Yeah, it's ephemeral, right? It's not fixed. They don't have a fixed shape, okay? We have a fixed shape, right? We have a fixed shape, okay? Dimension. And then there's the world of no forms, okay? That's like light. That, I think there are 4 levels there. 4? But don't worry about that. Just talking about that. But that's all celestial, okay? Don't worry about that, all right? All right, okay, so. But bottom of 74 is very important. 74, 75. Okay, God talk about that. Now there's this Dharma bolt, right? This Tao's been openly, you know, spread, propagated, right? That God wants to save what 92, right? 92, 度免92, 度完92. That means you have to what? What's 92? What's 92? 92. No, 99. 92亿，什么意思？92亿，920 million.
No, 9.2 billion.
Oh no.
0.92 billion.
9.2.
No, 9.2 billion. 92亿嘛。
像他以前度的一些
对。
Yeah,
No.
because the previous 400 million already.
92
Because
亿
it's normally 9.
Yeah, 9.2 billion, right? And no,
0.92 billion.
no. That's what I say. 920 million.
Yeah.
That's what I say. 920 million.
No,
Yeah, 920.
92亿
billion.
No, billion. 等等，应该是 billion. Sorry.
9.2
9.2 billion, yeah. Okay, now this 9.2, you say, doesn't make sense because right now the world's only 7 billion. Now, 9.2 billion includes from the green period. From the green period, red period, plus this period. Total is 9.2 billion. There are 9.2 billion souls.
Lives.
Yeah, lives, souls, that must be saved, okay?
96.
Animals.
96, no, yeah. So that's why
Yeah, 对。
400 million is already.
Yeah, 400 million, 2亿嘛，2亿已经
Plus 92 equals.
Right, sorry. 96, yeah, total is 96. Yeah, 96, yeah. Well, 92 is the white era. Yeah, the white era.
There's
90s,
400 million from the previous 2.
no, the green and red era. And then before that is 400 million. So its total is 10 billion? No, 9.6, sorry, 9.6, yeah. Anyway, that's the total amount, okay? So that's a lot. So that's a lot of people. I mean, a lot of souls, okay? So basically God is saying in 74, 75, right? God is saying that, you know, we have to be very energetic, renew our efforts to, you know, to bring this many souls on board the Dharma boat, okay? All right? Okay, so that they can receive the Tao, okay? So that's, and that's the, you know, in the, you know, for the 3 heavens, they call it the 3 heavens. That's I don't need to go into detail, okay? Okay, so page 76. So basically, now comes the time. But basically, for the rest of the sermon, God is warning. You can say warning, encouraging us to cultivate, to practice, to learn and practice. That's basically what cultivation means. To learn, and if you want to be more specific, it's to learn. You can say learn or study, to speak, to practice, and to propagate. I mean that's more. Yeah, to propagate, to spread. So that's what we mean by cultivate. Okay, cultivate covers that spectrum from learning, studying, to speaking, to practicing, to spreading or propagating. Okay, that's what cultivation means. Okay, that's what we mean by cultivation. Okay, so one short word, okay, to say all those 4 different things, okay? So basically God is encouraging us that we have to cultivate. And that's why, because God at 1941, at that time, right, he's saying that, Tao has already been established in northern China for some time now, right, for some time, okay? And that God still found that there are not that many dedicated or diligent cultivators. Sincere cultivators. So God, that's one of the reasons why God wrote this 10 admonitions to remind us that, we should cultivate and spread this Tao, propagate the Tao, okay? Because back then, the Tao was not openly spread that much. It's still very localized, okay? All right? So that's why God is reminding us that we have to spread, to all these 99.2 billion people or souls, okay? Now, these souls include celestial and underworld too, okay? That's why it's 9.2 billion. Get it? Because back then, 1941, there were probably only, 4 billion people? 4 billion? Probably 4 billion, right? Probably half, 4 point something billion, right? Yeah, about 4 point something. So the other half are either in the underworld, or it could be animals, or in celestial heaven. So that's a lot of souls, right, to save, okay? Okay, so page 77, basically, God is saying, reminding us that we have to be sincere, we have to cultivate very diligently, all right? We have to practice it, and to go basically to what? To go back to our Buddha nature, to manifest, to show our Buddha nature, all right? Okay? And to get rid of our human nature, our ego, basically, all right? Our ego, okay? And if we still keep that ego or any, obviously 3 poisons is more severe, but if we have any desires.
3 poisons? Yeah.
Oh, what are the 3 poisons? Right. So, anger. So we should learn these from here, okay? From here. But anyway, all right. So page 78. So God is warning us that if we don't get rid of our ego, our desires, our attachments, etc., okay, and we are not sincere. That's important, okay. We will, and we give up. We say, practicing the Tao is so difficult. I have to be vegetarian, all that stuff. It's so difficult. I already have the 3 treasures. That's good enough. Well, here's what God said. Okay, God said we'll end up in the bottom of the underworld under Mount Ying. Oh yeah, that's honey. Yeah, that means our soul will be scattered. Will no longer be not whole. So scattered means generally will reincarnate as insects. Usually insects.
Look at the ants.
Yeah, insects.
One soul.
Colony.
One person, right?
Be very
Ants.
bees.
Yes, thousands of
Bees,
one
ants.
you
can say flies,
So,
mosquitoes.
There's thousands of them, just one soul.
Right.
Okay. So until all the souls,
They have to die and then get combined. Yeah. So it's very scary. Or fish too. Fishes. They have school of fish, right? Fish, because fish, right? Okay, or frogs or whatever. So it's scary. So if we end up being those type of animals, to be reborn back as a human, it takes a long time. Okay, it could take maybe kalpas. Okay, all right. So scary, right? So we don't want to end up like that. Okay, we don't want to end up like that. So that's what God. And then also even worse, we could also go into the Insan. That's it. That's just as bad. That's even worse because you're not even an animal. We're not even an insect yet. Okay, so think of the So think of the whatever. So it's scary. Okay, so we definitely don't want to do that. Okay, go down that path. All right. So that's page 78. Okay, so God is saying, wake up. Okay, be careful. Okay, and have courage. As long as we maintain a sincere heart and we do our best, that's good enough. Don't do anything bad. Do good and do your best. That's it. Okay, so that's 78, and then 79. Basically, God is saying, we should, if we can fulfill that's that first one's the negative side. The next is the positive side. Basically, God is saying that if we can do our inner and external cultivation well, we can establish and expand our inner and external virtue, right? External virtue means, we do good things, right? Filial piety, all that stuff, right? Okay, say good words, right, all that. That's external, right? Yeah, help others. Then we can. What happens is, if we do well, we can end up in heaven. Equals with the highest position. Yeah, in Chinese it's called 千叶莲, right? 千叶莲, right? It means it's a lotus platform, but it's 1,000-leaf lotus. That's just big lotus, 1,000-petal lotus. That's a big lotus. That's a pretty big lotus. Okay. So basically, that's what God is saying, and that so if we do good well, we have a position. You can say position. Yeah, in heaven. Right? And the bigger the lotus platform, that means the greater the position. That's what I mean. So if you look at some of the Buddhas, ancient Buddhas, man, their lotus, especially in Huayan Jing, in the Avatamsaka Sutra, they saw, this what's his name, Sudana, right? 善什么财啊？善钱财，善什么？善财子，yeah, 善财子。He visited heaven and he saw different Buddhas with different lotus plants. One of them he saw 1,000 li. That Buddha has very, very good merit. Okay, a very high position. Okay, whatever. So it said that. Okay, so anyway, all right. So basically, God is saying that we have to hurry. And encourage, and we have to. He says, do not hesitate. The last line, basically, don't loiter, hesitate, and waste this golden opportunity to cultivate, to do good things, to say good things, to practice and propagate. All right, okay, and to establish merits and virtues. Okay, all right. So page 80, 81. I'm almost done. Okay, basically, 81, more like 81. That. When we are cultivating, okay, and there obviously the more status we have, right? If we are a leader, temple master, lecturer, transmitter, right? We have to be very careful because our responsibilities are very, very big, right? And so we cannot do things blindly, okay? Otherwise, we could mislead, right? We could, right? 一人欲万人追物以误治误人, right? So yeah, 误己误人. That means we have to be very careful because if we cultivate badly, we could influence others, especially if you're a leader, like a temple master, transmitter, lecturer. So if we say the wrong things, do the wrong things, we could affect other cultivators, and then our sin, you can say our sin, our guilt, it'd be severe. Many times severe, and we could end up in the underworld like that. Okay, like
we not just affect the person, we affect their ancestors.
Not just the person too. That's true. Their ancestors. So we got to be very careful. That's what God is warning us, that we have to be very careful when we cultivate. Okay, so that's basically 80, 81, 82, 83. Basically, God is saying that we have to be very diligent, very careful, and He says, at the same time, we have to be flexible, but you have to be flexible, according to but still follow the principle. That's very important. Okay, that's very important. 活泼，但是要 it says right here, 义理为准, right? 义理为标准的准是准嘛, right? 义理 we have to, even though we can be flexible, we can be flexible because everybody's different, right? Situations are different, but we still have to follow the principle. Get it? So we can't say, you come to the temple, okay, everybody don't have to wear shoes, so we can wear swimming trunks and come to the temple because we're flexible, because it's summer, it's very hot. Everybody wear your t-shirt, wear your shorts, come to the temple because it's very hot during the summer. No, we can't be that, right? Because that's going against the standards of our temple rules, right? Regulations. So we have to follow that still. Understand? Right? So that's an example. Okay, I'm using example. All right? So that's basically 81, 82. All right? Okay? Because we have to be careful. Okay? And also, this is another important. It says, 挥得高, 跌得重, 一定之力. So even though we say we cultivate well, we do better, so we're very high, But if we make a mistake and we fall, what's an English saying? What? The bigger they are, the harder they fall, right? Same idea. Okay, so we have to be careful. So that's why we have to be careful. Okay, so I'm almost there. But let's go to 80, 83, 85, 84. Basically, he's talking about Confucius principles. God is mentioning about Confucius principles, right? The three venerations, right? The 三为九师, right? 三为九师, 三省四夫, right? The three venerations, the 9 thoughts, the 3 self-reflections, and the 4 no-nos, 4 taboos. Okay, these are all confusion. That's all confusion, because these are all Confucius. Okay, all right. These are all the Confucius thoughts. Okay, so that's basically. So we can, that's why we should learn and study. And God mentioned this, okay? So we have to follow the 3 venerations or the 3 fears. We can say wei means fears, okay? Literally means fear, okay? But it just means we venerate. I don't say we fear. That means we abide by. We strictly So the 3 venerations are what? That we have to venerate the mandate, the Ten Ming, right? The Ten Ming, and venerate the holy people, the 大人, that means the virtuous people, virtuous people, and venerate the teachings of the holy people, teachings of the we say 圣人, that means sages. So we have to venerate. That means we have to. We have to abide by, you can say, worship, whatever, okay, venerate, okay? And then the nine thoughts, you can go in more detail here, right? It says, there are a lot, right? Think clearly, hear distinctly, be mild, be reverent, keep promises, attend to matters earnestly, ask when questions arise, think of the consequences when getting angry, think whether it is righteous when you gain some profits. Okay, those are the 9. Okay, so we have to be careful. All right, and then the 3 examinations or self-criticism or self-reflections of Zhenzi, right, of a disciple of Confucius, the author of Doctrine of the Ming, right, Doctrine of the Ming. He said, right, each day he examined himself in 3 ways. In dealing with others, have I been disloyal? In doing things for others, have I been disloyal? In interacting with friends, have I been trustworthy or not trustworthy? And when have I been practicing what I have learned? Okay, so that's the 3 self-reflections. And then the 4 no-nos of Yan Hui, another disciple of Confucius. He says, see no evil, hear no evil, say no evil, and do no evil. Okay, so these are the 4, you can say, fundamentals of Confucian thought or teaching philosophy. Okay, and this is part of the Tao. So God is basically, telling us that, hey, we should follow these things, okay? Or we should observe these things and practice things every day, all right? Okay, that's it, all right? I know there are a lot of things I haven't said completely. I asked for God's forgiveness and Buddha's guidance and your guidance, okay? Thank you very much.